Hello, good
Good
morning.
morning. Hi, Tanya.
I had to restart. Everything went bad.
We understand how that goes sometimes.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm here. Everything froze. Nothing was opening. My computer didn't like me this morning, but I'm happy to be here. I'm just really quickly opening up all my tabs. So if you guys want to just introduce things, I'll just open my tabs.
Yeah, no worries. We actually lost power yesterday morning before our webinar, and we were all freaking out. We're like, wait, what?
I've been there. I feel like I'm living that right now. So I'm just going to quickly open up all, because it's all tabs for me. It's all about the tabs.
I understand that. I use an extension called Fresh Start, so I can just open up certain tabs.
Oh, that's smart. I use one tab a lot, but this time everything crashed, so I lost everything.
Oh no.
Yeah. But it's all good. I'm almost ready. So I guess as everyone is joining, maybe they can introduce themselves. Since I don't know all of you, maybe you guys know each other. And I'd love a little more context about who's joining us today. So that would be super helpful.
Yeah, so make sure in the chat y'all are putting in there what you teach, where you're from, maybe your school that you're currently working at.
Yeah, just make sure in the chat you change it to all panelists and attendees so we can all see who you are and what you teach. But while we are waiting on you to do that, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves in case you don't know who we are. I am Kaylee Weimar, Program Coordinator for Digital Learning.
Karen Goebel, Program Coordinator for Digital Learning.
And I'm Emily Nordhausen, another Program Coordinator for Digital Learning.
Yay.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm your special guest today. And my name is Tanya Abrith, and I work with Adobe as their education evangelist. I know that name. I'm always making fun of myself with this name. But basically, my role is really here to help empower teachers, lift up teacher voice, really support schools and districts in their journeys to helping students become the creators that they already are. So I do that with so much joy and love, and I'm so happy to be here. And occasionally I get to actually go out of my office and come to conferences in person, which I'm hoping next year I can meet all of you face to face. But for now, this is where we're at. So I'm so happy to be here. I was actually kind of so excited about today's session because I was reading what this was about. So correct me if I'm wrong, Karen. So teachers are coming here today, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm opening the chat in just a sec. So here we go, so I can see. All right, so I see you guys. So you guys are coming to this session today, and then from what I understand is there's like a hands-on activity that you're going to do after.
Correct.
Am I missing anything?
Yep, that's it.
Awesome. Am I giving the activity? Because I have activities. I'm just wondering if you guys have an activity or if I'm giving the activity, because I got it planned. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything.
Well, Kaylee, what do we have in the thing for them to do again?
Yeah, we have an activity, but we can always switch to one of yours.
Yeah. We're flexible.
Currently, our activity is they're going to use our flip-flop lesson plan, and in the part of the plan that's the online station, they're creating a lesson that they would use Adobe Spark, where the students would create something in Adobe Spark. So if you have something else that you would like to do, we can totally switch.
Well, I have an idea. I mean, guys, I got so much stuff.
We will take it.
We'll take it. We'll go with yours.
Well, I mean, I want people to leave with meaningful resources. Karen, you got all my stuff, I hope.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So I'm going to explain how I kind of function. And this is a different kind of session for me because, first of all, I mean, it's a smaller group, which is awesome. We're about, 15 people, 16 people? Yeah. So I wish I know this is the webinar one, but I know. I love seeing, because I present with 3 screens. So I put on the Brady Bunch and I want to say hi to everybody. So all of you I'm curious, are in the chat, let me know, because I'm talking to you. Did any of you guys come to my sessions in the last few days? Is this a different like group, or is it possible that some of those people were at my session 2 days ago?
Look, and make sure I'm not mute. It looks like we may have a few, but I'm
Awesome.
seeing, like, I think I recognize Wendy. Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
But there's a lot that are brand new. It looks like there's
There's
a
quite a
few.
few. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So
3 or
today's
4.
session, so you guys came to my, like, it's almost like I'm backwards, right? Because like portfolios is the kind of thing that I find to be, I try to simplify, but it's often like the most complex, like kind of foreign thing for a lot of people to like wrap their heads around. So usually like the pedagogy on that is like much deeper. And I didn't really get into the tool, right?
Yes.
And then I then also did one, which was like a deep dive on the resources, which PS, I'm just going to share that board with everyone because I just think that was like, that might have been my favorite session of all time. Karen, I had so much fun with everybody on that one.
That was a great day. Yeah.
It was, right? And I think people enjoyed like walking away with like these curated lists that they created. So I'm actually going to share that with you guys also, because there's some like gems and good stuff that people at Klein have already curated. And those were like lesson ideas. But then today's session, yay! But today's session, what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to go like into a deep dive in Spark. So like, we're just going to like explore Spark. I'm going to like show you things that you didn't know you could do.
Yeah.
Like it's like a very deep, let's go deep. Let's like look at the tool. And then I'm also going to talk about ways that it could be used in the classroom, like strategies. I'm going to show examples. But the nice thing about that is we have the edX. And the edX, when you understand it, like has like insane, really good lessons that are cross-curricular. And so that's why I'm actually gonna, it's so good because your friends at Klein have curated like subject-specific examples. So the nice thing is we're gonna dissect what people at Klein have created. So we're not gonna start from scratch. So I'm using a lot of the stuff that we used in our last sessions too. Yay, okay. So, and then what I'll do is I have like an option. I'm actually going to leave it with the panelists. You guys will tell me what you think, because I'm going to like kind of send over like, and you'd be like, maybe we do this or maybe we do that. I just want to make sure it like fits the needs, and that like my whole thing, guys, all of you, is like, bad PD is the worst thing ever. So I want to make sure that like, if I'm doing stuff, it's like going to be valuable. It's stuff that you can like, and that you can use right away. So like, that's my philosophy about doing PD. So like, if it's sucking, guys, just like send me a message, be like, no, like, let's do something else. I don't care. I have no ego. Like, it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I'm so past that. So here, I'm just going to kind of kick it off. So for those of you who don't know me, very quickly, as I mentioned, my name is Tanya Everett. I work at Adobe, but I'm a teacher. I'm always going to be a teacher first. It's the thing in my life that I'm like the most proud of and that I'm the most passionate about. And I also, I'm really passionate about teacher professional learning. I'm the co-author of the Google Infused Classroom with my dear friend, Holly Clark. Maybe some of you have, seen, she's a lot more active on social than probably I am, but that's cool. That's what makes us a great partnership. Have you guys ever seen her?
We met her. Yes, I've seen her several
nice.
times, and she actually came to Klein for us in our second Empower conference.
No way!
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes,
that's awesome. Yeah, she's great. And her and I have been working together for a decade. And so yeah. She's my closest dearest friend. And so we co-authored, actually I have it here, the Google Infused Classroom.
Have that book?
Yeah, the second edition actually is like, should be out, but I think we're mad at Amazon right now because they have the second edition up and they're sending the old one still, and we're like, stop it. Yeah, they like have a few, I think they have some left over and they're like trying to like get rid of them. Like, no. But yeah, the second one's is like double the size. It's so good. So we're so excited about
I'll have to get that.
Yeah, well, wait a couple weeks just because like I don't know when Amazon's gonna like I just ordered a car. I was like, where is it? Okay, all right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna open up Spark. I want you guys to also open up Spark. I don't know how we're gonna like I don't know if you have another screen. I know not everyone has that, but I'll try to do it in such a way where I'm going to demo, and then I'm going to give you like a task. So it's going to be like, we'll scaffold that. So like, I'm going to do, let's say I'm going to show you post, and then I'm going to show you examples of like student work, ideas. And then I'm going to ask you guys to create something. And then I'm going to do video. And then I'm going to ask you to do to create something. And then I'm going to do a page, and I'm going to ask you to create something, pull the pieces together. Now, just out of curiosity, those of you who are here today, how many of you, what's your experience with Spark? Like if I were to say 1 is like, I'm a beginner, 2 is like, I've used it a little bit, and 3 would be like, I've used it with students. I would love to know kind of who, where you guys are kind of at. Okay.
Oh, wow. This is great. Y'all are going to be so impressed with what you can do with Spark. It is amazing.
Okay, cool. Now, that's super helpful. So I have more like beginner for the most part in the room. So that's so helpful for me to understand. So here we go. Let's kind of just jump in, because I don't want to get into like anything until you got to kind of see it and understand it. And then I have so many examples, people. And keep in mind, everything that I show, what I do is I send it over to Karen after the session, and she'll tell you, I send everything over. I mean what I say. So
Yes.
Don't worry. Like if there's stuff that you're getting and that you're seeing, I'm going to send it over. I'm also going to send over a recording of myself that also goes, again, basically like deep diving into Spark. So if I'm going too fast, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to send a recording and you'll be able to watch it again. So like, take it easy. Like this is fun. Ask questions. We're like best friends today, and we're hanging out and we're learning something fun. Okay.
And I'll email all the resources that she puts out probably at the beginning of next week, because we have, so much going on today. But
totally. She'll tell you, I was like, one more. And I like keep on sending her emails like, don't forget this one, because I'll find something else. Because I want to make sure you guys get like the good stuff, All right, here we go. So, oops, I'm in the wrong place. I just opened like some random tab. Awesome. All right, you're seeing my drive. There we go. Okay, so you should be seeing my screen. Now, for those of you who've never logged into Spark, I'm going to be sending a fun login video for Klein with Karen, just in case. But Karen, basically, they're just going in with their Google IDs, right?
Correct. They can actually go to the dashboard. I believe it's there on the dashboard. But if it's not, if they just go to spark.adobe.com, and then they will click login with Google and then hit Enterprise.
Okay, that's it. So log in with Google, and you have to make sure you hit Enterprise the first time you go in. And then after that, it's easy. It doesn't ask you to hit Enterprise every time. It's just the first time. Perfect. So when you go in, this is what you'll see. Now, Spark is basically this. It lets you and your students create graphics, videos, and web pages, and like scrolling pages. What makes Spark so awesome is that it's very simple to use, and students' work really looks good. So it takes out the complexity of learning the tool and lets students focus on what they want to say. And they like it because their work looks really beautiful. And I'm going to talk about a lot of that in this session, because there's something really like to be said about students creating beautiful artifacts of their learning, right? And in today's day and age, the reality is they need to learn how to communicate visually, because there's so much media, there's so many messages that are coming at them, that they need to learn how to cut through the noise and be able to get their messages heard. And so I often say, like, if we put a lot of emphasis on writing, which is still very valuable, of course, but no one's going to read your writing if you don't know how to sell it in 2021, right? Like if you can't get it out, if you don't know how to make a graphic, if you're not sharing it somewhere on social or somewhere, and you're not understanding how to break it down, consolidate it to get people to pique people's interest, just in general for any message, being, even if you're a, you know, if you're a plumber, an electrician, a surgeon, you need to be able to communicate in a bite-sized way, because that's just how we communicate today. So this is a tool that really empowers students to learn how to visually tell stories. And that's a really important skill that goes across all disciplines. It's no longer just the job of a digital media teacher or the CTE teachers to teach those skills. That is a really important literacy. Okay, so we're gonna go in and we're gonna start with posts, okay? So we're gonna go, and there's different ways you can access post, right? So you can either go in like custom size graphic. If I wanted to, I could just go like Instagram posts. You all have the education version, which means that you have access to all the premium upgrades, and the tool is COPA and FERPA compliant. So we don't worry about Adobe, you know, like using your students or you for ads. Truthfully, I can't access anyone. It's actually kind of frustrating. It really is. So like it's 100% secure for your kids. All right, so I'm gonna go custom size graphic. All right, so the first thing that it shows me is popular, social post, print, social profile, standard, custom. All right, so I can, I usually when I'm just demoing, I'll start with square. But just so you can see, like, these are some of the things you can do. It's really great. Like if you, even on a personal, like if you are on social media, if you have a class Twitter or class Instagram account, it's such a great tool to be able to pull together things that are happening in your class. I was saying the other day, like how fun would it be if you have a social media account for your class, having the kids create media and share what's going on every week in their learning and put together little like news clips and visuals to like break down and synthesize things that they were learning. And you have like a media creator in class. Like how fun and relevant would that be? And also such great digital citizenship, so kids can learn at a younger age even like how to post and to create meaningful demonstrations. So this is a great tool for that. All right, so this is Post. Post is the one that gets the most updates regularly. So there's always something happening there. I'm like, what? That's new. That's awesome. So I'm gonna walk you through this. So first things first, there's I don't even know anymore, like 40,000 templates. And in the next few months, you're gonna also notice a lot more education focused templates. They're launching a lot of those in the fall. So there's a ton of templates. Now, anytime you see this little yellow, that means it's premium, but you have access to it. So if you were using the free accounts, that would be something that wouldn't be accessible unless you paid for the upgrade. But you have upgraded accounts. So everything you see, you have access to. So if you were going to start with a template, let's go. So there's featured, there's library. Here we go. Let's search. All right, I'm going to go back to school. I'm already tired. I'm sorry, people. I'm going to do back to school. I know no one wants to talk about back to school, but I'm going to do it. Don't hate me. Okay, so we're going to go back to school. So let's see. All right, so I'll just click on this one. So let's say I wanted to like create something. So if you are, there's science templates, there's math templates. Actually, I'll be sharing. Karen, I'm going to share a link. I'm going to write this down. I'm going to write down things I promise you. Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to share a link to all the templates where they're curated. There's actually a link that takes you straight by subject and area. Yeah, people don't know it. There's all these little gems. I'm going to send that to you. So it's template link. Yeah. All right. So if you were to start with a template, what you need to know is if you click on it, you can edit it. That's how I teach it to the kids. anything that you want to edit, if you click on that area, it lets you edit it. And that's really what kids need to wrap their heads around. And I have to tell you, it's easy for kids. If they can use Snapchat, if they can use Instagram, if they can use TikTok, then this is intuitive. It's built for them. It's meant to be super intuitive. So I double click, it says welcome. I can change the word. So anytime I click on something, I can go in and I can update it. So I'm fixing the background. Ugh, no. You know, and I'm just gonna play around. I can play around with colors. Let's see. So anything I touch, I can play with. So super straightforward. So just, you know, just knowing that, you know, I can go in and change that. I don't like that background. Let's do the blue, the same blue, right? So if you click on it, you can edit it. Now, I can also do some other things, and but I'm gonna show you that well, actually I'll show it with you here. So if I could click off of it in the background, these pieces pop up on the right. There's also all these things you can add on the left. So very quickly, I can animate things that I don't like that one. I can animate the text. I can animate with the colors. So this again is like really to capture people's attention on social. There's a lot of research that's done on like how you capture people's attention. So not make it or break it for like pedagogy and teaching learning. I get that. I promise I'm gonna like make curricular connections. I swear I will. But I do want you to know what is possible with the tool, because you know, tool and learning, you know, it's that trifecta. You also need to know what you can do. So I can go in, I can change the background and layout. I can do a resize if I want. I'm going to give everyone epilepsy today with this one, but and then I can even go here with any of my anytime I create a design. If I go on the right hand side, a lot of people don't know this, but I could actually change the look and feel based on other designs that are on the right. And so that's kind of neat if you're not really familiar with, like, if you want inspiration and you want something to look similar, that's always an option for anything you create. So that's really cool. So it really does take out the complexity of like the tool and let you, again, focus on your learning. All right. So I like that one, actually. I think it's kind of cute. So this is the, my little template. Now, if I want to share it, I can publish it. And when I publish it, I can get a link, I can share it in different places, or I can make it into a template. So with my students, this is new. If I wanted to, I could create a template and it will make a copy for my students in a shared library. So that's kind of interesting too. Think of it as like a shared drive account in Spark that you can share with your students. And I can create a library and add all my kids. And I can also create templates and put things in there and have them play with it and figure out, you know, depending on grade or what I want them to create. So that's an option as well. Okay, now I'm going to just start from scratch. So let me go back. I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to do something where I'm going to start from scratch. So let me go in and super quick. I'm going to go popular. I'm going to go back to square. All right. So I'm going to start with a blank canvas and I'm going to build with you, but we're going to do it together, people. Okay. So we're going to create a scene. All right. Now I'm going to use you to do it with me. So I wish I had like a poll, but like I don't right now, but it's okay. We'll do it fast. We're a small group. So people, tell me, if I were to choose a scene from a book, any book that we could be studying right now, let's put a bunch of books and find a book that we want to be able to pull a scene from and show it visually. So everyone go ahead and tell me what book should we pull a scene from? A scene or like a big idea or a theme? Okay. I'm going to ask the panelists to help me because we're going to have to think about keywords to create the visuals. This is a fun activity you could do with kids. Ooh, Harry Potter. Ooh, Harry Potter. Wizard of Oz. I kind of like Wizard of Oz. I feel like, right? Like, I feel like there's some, I'm going to need help, people. I'm on the spot. So you guys are going to have to help me. All of you are going to have to help me. So, oh, we have a lot of people wanting some Harry Potter. What do we do? Harry Potter or Wizard of Oz?
Either one is good.
All right, I'm going to go with Wizard of Oz just because I think from a visual standpoint, it could be kind of cool. All right, people. So we're going to do Wizard of Oz. So I'm going to go into photos. Now, if I were going to pick a background to kind of like set the scene in Wizard of Oz, what would I post? What would I type? What would be, so I'm going to go into find free photos. This is what makes Spark so great. It connects with Creative Commons free to use and share images that are beautiful. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, Yellow Brick
on,
Road. Let's see.
Where in the book? Are we at the beginning when she's flying?
I know, right?
Or are we at the...
Let's see what happens when I go in and I go yellow
brick,
brick.
hot air boat. Yeah, the rainbow.
All right, guys. Oops, Yellow Brink Road. Thank you very much. All right, yellow. Oh my God, look, right away, I get him. So I don't want that. But so I'm not getting great. Let's say rainbow.
There's that field. Oh, the rainbow.
How about that?
There's also the castle.
Let's see. Let's see what happens. So that's a rainbow one. Let's say castle.
Is it a castle or the...
Oh, poppies. They're saying poppy field. Is that?
Oh, that one at the top. Oh, the poppies. Yeah.
Here, let's try that. Wait, it's like Poppy field, right? Or is it IE? I'm so bad. Is it?
I
No,
think
poppy.
it's the Y.
Yeah,
I think
poppy
it's the
field.
Y.
Yeah. Oh, okay, which one do you think? Should we do this one or this one?
Oh, yeah, that one's good.
Okay, that one.
So
So
somebody's asking if you're new, how do you get to the templates again?
So the templates are always going to be on the left-hand side. Or if you're in the dashboard, you just can search on the top. I'll go back and I'll show you guys again. I'll make sure to go back. And in this case, what we're going to build is we're going to build out a collage right now. And what we're going to do, so this is something that you can do or have kids do. I love 6-word summaries. Love, love, love. Like visual summaries that kids could like add elements to demonstrate their understanding of perhaps something that they've learned, something that they've read, adding visual elements, and then synthesize down into 6 words. P.S. That's what we're doing right now, okay? So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go add to background. Boom, add to background. There it is, it's locked. Now, I want some visual representation of whatever scene this is. I'm really relying on you guys of the book. So what are some pieces that I want to add here? Like characters, or what do you think? Is it like, I don't want to say it. What do you guys think? I'm going to let you and the audience and the panelists add some thoughts. All right.
Dorothy and Toto, I like that.
So what kind of dog would, okay, so Scarecrow.
Oh, the flying monkeys. Love the flying monkeys.
So I love this. So here's this. So what do you think? I think the Scarecrow could work. Let's try this guy. All right. And you'll see what I'm going to do with these in just a second. Okay. So we have Scarecrow. Ooh, Tin Man. Let's see what we get. No results. Okay. Let's try Tin Person. No, that didn't work. Tin.
Tin Man is 2 words. Maybe that.
Oh, maybe. Let's see. Tin Man.
I don't know if that will bring.
Ah,
there we go.
look at that. What? All right. Look at that. I got lucky here. Oh, the cowardly lion. Actually, you know, when I put Wizard of Oz, the lion popped up. Look at that. Wizard.
Type in Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, let's see. Ooh, people. We kind of get lucky today. We don't have to use these, by the way. We can be even more creative, of course. But
we need a dog. We have to have Toto.
Okay, what kind of dog is Toto?
It's a Karen Terrier. Karen Terrier.
How do you
And
spell
I know
it?
I have one.
Do you really? That's so funny.
It's Carin, right? Isn't it Karen?
I don't know if I put that, it's really specific. How is this little guy? Could he pass for a little Toto?
Yeah.
He's pretty
That's
close.
just for a Toto. He's close.
And then how about those like ruby shoes? Let me try something.
Oh. Yeah.
No.
Maybe
what was
red shoes.
Red shoes. Yes. So this is cool to think about it for kids, having to
Oh.
synthesize. Ooh, having
Yeah,
to
that's
synthesize
good.
ideas, right? And be able to kind of, ooh, this could work. And having to be able to consolidate their ideas using keywords. That's actually very high order thinking. Well, not so much the characters, but when you have to start kind of like pulling together some of the things that are happening, and understands like themes. So we're going to take this a little further in the next activity with video, but this is just kind of showing you like how I can pull together some of those ideas. Now, what's really cool on Spark is this right here. So you can now remove background on your images.
Love that.
Isn't that great? And so actually this is even more new. I could go here and erase parts and go deeper, and like this is something that like is brand new that you could do. So that's under remove background. I'll do it again. Okay. So I could even I can invert a cutout. Guys, I love this. Think about doing like, if you had to fill yourself with what makes you who you are. As such a great activity, I was just thinking about it. Like, so you'd invert a picture of a student and then have them add elements. I'm going to show you an example of that. Okay. But yes, and you can upload your own photos. So you could pull in a photo, invert it, and then add a piece where it's like, kind of tell me about yourself. So it's like really beautiful too. So these are great activities for beginning of the school year as well. But I'm going to invert that back, and I'm just going to go, yes. So I'll do that again. So you click on the image and you go remove backgrounds. And so, and then look, there's some like pieces I don't like. So I'm going to go here and I'm just going to erase them. So that's new. You can go in and erase parts that you don't want.
And that's cool that it's not erasing what's behind it, that other image you already put on there.
Exactly. So I'm just going to go plus. It's not perfect right now because I'm not doing it like perfectly quick. But guys, I can zoom in, right? So remember, I can get way closer to that. So this is a lot of the stuff that in the past, like you would be able to do with like Adobe's Photoshop, but now you can really customize and like make something really beautiful really quickly without having to know how to use like some of our higher end tools. All right, so I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna remove. Ooh, not bad,
Oh, I like
right?
it. Mm-hmm.
Not bad. All right, so I'm gonna do really quick. Just remove background. All righty. This guy reminds me of that guy from something Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Great. Doesn't he look like the guy from Forgetting Sarah Marshall? Every time I die from the, I don't know if it's one of my favorite movies. Okay. And then the last one, and again, I'm not doing this perfectly. I could always go in and fix pieces. I can add pieces. I can erase it better. I'm just doing it super fast right now. Okay. So it's looking a little scrappy, but if I wanted to and spend a little more time, I can make it look even nicer. All right. So I'm adding my little elements. And so I am creating a little scene of some of the pieces, and I'm going to place them together any way I want. Okay, so it's kind of cool because you can really like make this look pretty cool if you wanted. All right. And then I'm gonna, not bad, right guys? Come on, pretty decent, right? Yeah. And then I'm gonna add my text. So here, tip, select the picture, then click remove background. Thank you. Yes, exactly. So you want to make sure you select the image and then press remove background. It lets you kind of fix it. I feel like I'm there. I love you. It's cute. And then you press the check button and it'll go on, and then you can choose another image. All right. Now this is the part that's fun. We're going to summarize, or you're going to help me summarize the Wizard of Oz in 6 words. All right. I'm going to give you guys a moment. I'm going to give you guys a moment, but how might you summarize Wizard of Oz in 6 words.
And I just love the creativity of this. The kids, no two projects would be the same.
No, not at all. And then I'm going to show you like what I'm going to
There's
go.
no place like home. There's
That's
no
a good
place-
one.
That's a good-
I love that. Okay.
That's right.
I'm
Any
going to wait.
content
Girl
now.
turns hard to make friends goes home. Oh, that's cute. Home with friends better than Oz. Home with friends better than
I
Oz. These
love
are
that
awesome.
too.
Oh, guys, this is fun. And it's fun.
It is
fun
fun.
activity. And it's fun to do with the kids as a starting point too, right? When you're teaching them how, I actually use this activity now in every workshop I do when I'm showing posts, because I just think it's such a fun activity, and 6-word summaries are so great.
It's all crazy dream.
Girl has really bad dream trip. My friends have all the braids. Oh my God, these are so good. These are so good. And this might be really fun to do to get kids to brainstorm beforehand. And then they can pull out, if they need some scaffolding. So to help them synthesize. You know what this also could be used for? Are you guys familiar with like headlines, the visible thinking routine? Have you ever seen that? Okay, so Harvard Project Zero has these visible thinking routines, okay? And I'm completely, literally obsessed with visible thinking, Harvard Project Zero, and visible thinking. And you know what? I'm gonna say this, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're just calling it something else, okay? So these so Project Zero is amazing, and they're this website, by the way, and I'm gonna send that over to you, don't you worry. Yeah. Okay, harvard.edu. So I use this as a teacher always, and my strategy is usually like I choose 3 with my students for the year, because their routines, you want to get them in the habit of using them, but they help you synthesize ideas in your class, and they're genius. Okay, so I could do a whole day of workshops, literally, no joke, just on these. But I love this because they have this toolbox, and so these are things that you can help, like digging deeper into ideas, introducing, exploring ideas with art or objects, global thinking, synthesizing and organizing ideas. So this helps with the thinking in your class. And what I love to do is pair my like Spark post with routines for formative or summative assessments to check for understanding. So one of the ones that I really love is here, there's a whole bunch, right? So these are core thinking routines. Guys, you've heard of See, Think, Wonder. Everyone has heard of that. So that comes from Harvard Project Zero. Another really great one is I used to think, now I think. And this is so great. So you can get kids kind of like at the beginning of a unit to use like a shared slide deck, or like pick a slide or create a graphic. What do you think about this, to check for understanding early and capture an understanding at the beginning of a concept? Again, cross-curricular, you can, and you should, it's like checking for understanding, and then have them create a follow-up graphic. Okay, and then they pull that together and they make a little video of that. I used to think blabbly 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 blabbly, about erosion in blah blah blah. I don't know. And now I think blabbly blabbly blabbly, and they have the visual representation to show that. So that's a really great activity, and honestly, it's fun. But I have to tell you guys, if you're gonna these are amazing, and they really help consolidate student thinking. It's one of the best things that I've ever learned in my life. So one of the ones that they also have, I'm trying to see if they have it here, are headlines. Look how great these are.
Wow.
So introduce.
This is awesome.
Yes, these are amazing. Okay, I'm trying. This is, oh my God, I love circle of viewpoints. So these are all things we want kids to learn how to do. But very often we ask them, we need strategies to do that. Asking kids to take a perspective without having bias is hard, right? And so how do you formulate an environment for that? These are strategies to help you do that. Synthesizing, here we go. This is one that I was saying. So this is synthesizing ideas, and this is headlines. So this is how they all look in here. So, and it gives you how to do it. So this is a routine. And this is the funny part, like, because a headline, the truth is a headline, and actually, this is a workshop I'm giving on Monday, PS, but I'm going to just show you really quickly. So a headline, oh wait, I'm in the wrong one. I want to show you. I'll open it in just a second. A headline basically is like an old newspaper. It'd be like, you know, synthesizing that idea. But the reality is like kids don't know what headlines anymore. So I switched it up to clickbait. So having kids create clickbait, which, you know, if you teach kids, like, how are you going to get people to click on your article to read it? You know, and that's like a really important skill. So I have them creating clickbait headlines to like capture visuals, to capture people's attention. And so basically it synthesizes what you have read. It's such a great activity. And in a moment, I'll find the samples that I made so I can show you. But let me go back. I told you I'd sprinkle some pedagogy in here, right? So
okay.
Yeah, good. So I want to pull one in. So what do you guys think? Home is where the heart is. Everyone already had what they needed. Oh my God, these are so good. My friends all have, I'm going to go with my friends have all the brains. I just love that one. So let's copy that because we're going to finish this activity. And then there's already some pre-created texts that we could use, or you can create your own. I'm just, you know, for the sake of time, I like this one. You can create, so it says into the woods, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to paste. My friends have all the brains. I'm going to paste that there, but I think I need a little bit more color. So I'm going to add, the shadow isn't working. Let's see what I can do with this. Let's go shape. There we go. So, because I wanted to give it a little more color. So shape color, let's go in the background, let's add a yellow, there we go. So I could go in here, just FYI, if I'm going to choose shape, I can go here and there's all these different shapes I could choose from. So I actually like this one, but just to, you know, to show you like how you can customize that graphic. So again, I can play around and do more with it, but I just wanted to show you really quickly, like this is a fun activity, pair it with visible thinking routines. And I showed you a whole bunch, really getting kids to pair visuals with text. And that's a really, like, there's so many skills that they're learning at the same time, digital fluency, digital literacy, like synthesizing big ideas into keywords and then pairing the thinking process, the metacognitive piece into that. I've taken what was just like, let's make a post into, you know, like not really deep learning into like something that actually is engaging and fun. And when it's paired with the right questioning, could be really meaningful for kids. Now let's take it even further. Because if you've ever watched anything that my girl Holly Clark says, the one thing that she will always say is, well, the most powerful thing we can have kids do, especially with technology, is help them make their thinking visible, right? So we want to get kids to press record. And that's really
before you go on, can you show them the magic wand?
The magic wand. Here, you mean? Like on post?
In post. So click on like the text.
Oh, yes, totally. Okay, yes, I know what you're saying, yes.
Okay.
So we have little elves working in the background that are like picking out all the different text that's available. So if you are not sure about what you want the text to look like, you can choose the magic wands and it will give you, oh, that's kind of cool. It'll give you a whole slew of options that also you can customize at the same time that you might not even know is available. So this is the magic wands. Why is it getting smaller? That is so bizarre. Like,
that is.
What is going on here? Let's make this bigger. So this is the magic wand. So this lets you really play. And I think it's gotten even more interesting because look at that M. I've never seen that before. Like it's like playing with like color and font. So it's getting even smarter. The only problem with this is like, you got to go back. So like, sometimes what happens, you go crazy, you're like, do, and you're like, huh. So here's a suggestion. If you do this, what I would suggest is duplicate it and then keep one that you like and then play with a few of them and then delete the one in the end. Cause it's going to get, and tell it to the kids, cause then they will lose it. They're going to be like, I like that one and it's gone. And so that's like a great little, like, boop, make a copy and then like play and then boop, make a copy if you like that one and then choose at the end. Ask 3 friends.
That is a great tip.
It's very helpful.
I've gone down the magic one. Right.
You can go through magic wand down the yellow brick road on that one. Like you will get lost.
Yeah.
So the M part is new.
It is definitely new. Look at this. This is actually very new. I have never seen this where it's like shifting the words around. It's kind of neat, actually. Yeah. I have no clue that it does it. And then if you want, you can obviously go in, change the palette. By the way, this is also new. This lets you choose your layer. And that's also brand new. It doesn't actually move them around yet. You still have to do that here. But it's there. So how neat is that? Okay, so I'm going to just delete that. I'm going to put that there. We're going to pretend that's it. And just a few other things really quick. There's all these amazing icons. So if you wanted it to have like a clean look and you were kind of like wanted, there's different like design pieces that you can pull together. Like you can have, like, remember I was saying invert, like imagine doing an invert and then adding icons to like explore like big themes. So it has like a lot of different icons, like thousands. It's from Noun Project. Another one is design assets. So this is kind of cool because you can really pair like visuals with these kind of very interesting assets and create really interesting themes. So like if you're reading something that has like an antique, feel to it, like the visuals can add components. So like you can really take this far and like have kids create really cool like visuals to represent things that they're learning. I love these. So that's design backgrounds. And then this is a background. So these you can put and you add collages, create collages. So it's pretty neat. And then again, this is like where the libraries are. Remember I was saying like you could actually create your own library of assets and share that with your students. If you wanted to just kind of pull in some assets that you wanted them to work from, and you'd share that and they would have access to it in their library. So that's kind of neat as well. All right, so I'm now going to do something where, I'm talking about press record. I'm going to download this. Okay, so because I'm going to app smash in between apps right now. So I'm going to go start download. By the way, I can see any questions that you guys have because remember I have like 3 screens. So if you have any questions, feel free to share them over here and because I'm looking. I love that. Good tip on duplicate. I cried a bit last time.
Yeah.
I get that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at video. Now, video is great. It's super straightforward to use. And what's also really neat is I'm going to guess you guys you're a Google district, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my guess is you have probably like students have a lot of Chromebooks.
Yes. Yeah.
So what's nice about that is like when we think about the tools that are available on Chromebooks that kids can create with that are free and available, like, I think, because of course, like I'm always thinking about that, right? So like, what are some of the tools that are available? So you have Screencastify, right? So kids can like record their screen. I love a good app smash with Screencastify and Spark. Okay, so because then you can consolidate some of those things, like some of the ideas, all the things, pull that in. You have, I don't know, you guys probably have a toolbox of like things that kids can use. I love Spark because Spark is a panel. It's like a dashboard of creation for the kids on the web. Okay, so they can really go in and go deep and pull pieces and think of that as like where they can consolidate their ideas and take it a little further. Like, I love Flipgrid, and I don't. Do your teachers use Flipgrid and students use Flipgrid? Yeah, it's one of my favorite tools. You can app smash with Flipgrid. You can pull in a graphic that you've created in post and and have the students talk about it. And then maybe they consolidate those into a Spark video. So maybe they start to kind of like pull those, or, you know, mix and match. So like we start to kind of learn, and the kids start to learn the best tools that they want to use to show their learning. Now let's go and open up video. You can use Adobe Spark on any device. That's right. PCs, Chromebooks, or iPads. That's correct. Okay. So I'm going to make, I'm going to go Wizard of Oz. Next. All right. Now, I love this. When you go into Spark Video, what it asks you to do right away is it asks you to create a story template. So you can start from scratch, or you can start with one of these templates. We're actually going to start with one of these templates. And I just want to show you what is here. So there's promote an idea, tell what happened, a hero's journey, show and tell, personal growth, teach a lesson, an invitation, or make up my own. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to just do tell what happened, because I'm just going to, for this particular, we could have done a hero's journey and have the students choose one of the characters and synthesize the journey that the character went on, so that we can check for understanding to see if did they understand the story. This is, in my mind, such a stronger demonstration of learning than asking kids to just synthesize in a written way, because very often, especially when you're asking kids to synthesize something that they've read, they're going to Google that, because there's so many synthesized paragraphs to explain that. But if you're asking kids to break it up and press record and have that scaffolding inside built in, it forces them to use their own words, which is what we want to be able to see. Did they understand it or not? And then asking them to press record and add more context is much richer assessment than you're going to get in a multiple choice way or in a written format. So this is such a great kind of quick, way for kids to synthesize and show their learning, and also help them scaffold that. Sometimes when you say to kids, go and explain, what? It's like they don't know where to begin. But if you're asking them and you're providing them with some of the scaffolding here, honestly, even for me, I still use this. I'm an adult. I have trouble synthesizing big ideas when I'm put on the spot. So this is really helpful. So let's say I'm going to choose this one. So this is tell what happened. All right. Every time you go on, there's going to be this little video that explains how to use it, which is great, so you always have that there, but it's really straightforward. So here's my dashboard. Here's my tools. That's how I kind of explain it. It's similar like in all of the three tools. It's like my toolbox where I like play, and this is where I make my, where I get my tools to make my what I want to do come to life. Here is where I press record and make my thinking visible. So this red button is where all the magic happens. And then here, and this is I'm using a template. What's nice about these templates is that it's not so much that it kills students' creativity by giving them everything, but it's just enough scaffolding to help them get going. So I can go in here and I can go and I can find a photo. I can take a picture. So if you had students working on something and they just wanted to show something that they've made that's physical, that's really powerful. Think of this as for process, and having kids creating process work. In my portfolio session I did the other day, if you were there, I was talking a little bit about having kids just taking pictures of the learning as it happens, and getting in the habit of doing that, which is really foreign for so many kids to do, and also for us to bake that into the teaching, getting kids to take a second, take a photo, take a screenshot. I recommend having kids do that, write that in your hyperdoc, write that in your lesson plan, give kids pause, take a picture, take a screenshot, because it's incredible what happens when you ask kids to consolidate at the end and reflect on their process. That's the rich learning, guys, not the end product. It's what did they make throughout the journey? So this is not hard to do, but like what's nice about Spark is you could just pull in screenshots off their Chromebook. Guys, how do you make a screenshot on a Chromebook? People asked me the other day, I wasn't sure. What do you press? I don't know. I'm putting you on the spot. I don't know.
It's the
shoot,
Windows.
It's
You do Control Shift and then the Windows switcher key, and
There.
that'll give you the little crossbar to select. Or you can just do the Control with the Windows switcher key, and that'll just take the whole thing.
Yeah, it's just to get them to do that. So if they're working on a writing, whatever, just like screenshot, take a picture with your camera, on, like show it, just getting them in the habit of doing some of that stuff, I think sometimes is really, really powerful. All right, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to find a free photo. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to give it a title. So going deeper with Wizard of Oz. All right, now I hope you were following along because I feel terrible because I didn't tell you to make a visual with me when I was making a visual. So that's okay. If we're not going to, you guys are going to be doing an activity afterwards, and I have an activity for you, or you guys might be creating we're still undecided. I'll talk to the panelists, but if you are, you can feel free to follow along and kind of play with me and just kind of explore. Yes, Tiffany, this is excellent for all students, but especially kids, dyslexia, dysgraphia, special ed, who may need accommodations for showing what they know. Yes, yes, 100%. I actually do a whole session on that called, it's multidimensional assessment. And it's the power of having kids be able to use multidimensional, visuals, adding audio, adding like all different components to be able to show what they know, because kids with dysgraphia who can't necessarily write out their words are very creative and just need an alternative space to be able to show what they know. So yes, thank you, Tiffany. This is so, so important to know. All right, going deeper with Wizard of Oz. So I go there. By the way, I can go here. I can change my theme. I didn't get into branding with you guys, but it's what it is. Like, you can create a brand, and because you have the paid version, you have access to this option. And I love this option for kids because it really lets them customize their work. And so they can create a logo, you can create a class logo, room 215, like whatever that is, go Lions, if that's your thing. And you can have that theme in your classroom. So I've made so many of them, you can see. So I'm just gonna add the Adobe Creative Educator one here. And so it lets me also, and I'll show it to you after, but it lets you customize the look and feel of your work. And then, you have your little branding over there as well. And so I'm going to going deeper with Wizard of Oz. It's using my theme, and then I can add 30 seconds of video if I wanted. So I can pull in video. So that's where, like, if I have kids making screencasts using Screencastify, I can add pieces in there. I can add things that they worked on. I can add clips. You can get them to record themselves, pull those pieces in. So here's actually a little video that I just made. It was on the edX. I just happened to have it there. So let me go here. This is totally random, but I'm just showing you how it works. Oh, nice. Your Adobe Schoology course goes through branding. That's cool. Awesome. All right, so I'm gonna pull in, and then like if I wanted to extend the clip into the next, so like, because it goes 30 seconds of clips per slide. You can also only record your voice for 30 seconds on each slide, but I could pull it into the next slide if I add more than 30 seconds. Like if I had that, you can extend it into the next slide essentially, okay? So in this case, I'm going to say going deeper with Wizard of Oz. Let's see what happens. I added a video in the background. I just want to see what was going to happen. And then I'm going to go to the next slide, and I'm actually going to go in photo, and I'm going to upload a photo. So I'm going to pull in my photo, and you're going to see the sizing is a little weird. So what I want to do is, because I used square, I'm going to just change the size, and I'm going to make it fit the size that I use. Square is the same as the square here. It's really actually meant for Instagram. It's optimized for Instagram, this particular size. I could have chosen the size of the widescreen one too and created my slide there. So you can kind of app smash in that way. Or I can zoom in or zoom out if I really wanted to as well. So, and then over here it says show the backdrop or setting of what happened. So in this case, I could ultimately like have my visuals. I can pull in images. I can put in icons if I wanted to, but I'm going to be able to record my thinking. So let's take a look. This is my visual of the Wizard of Oz. I created a 6-word summary and chose the following characters. Okay, so if I wanted to, I would like explain it. I'm not going to get into too much, but you can kind of get the gist of this, right? I can really go through and explain who I chose, why I chose them, the elements, and I can go deeper. If I wanted to, maybe I would add it on a couple slides and kind of go deeper, but I can use that as a space to explain it and then get deeper into different elements of my writing, of the work I'm working on, retell the story, whatever that might look like, okay? But this is where I would do that. So when I go here, I can choose music. So I'm asking kids to also think about mood and tone, and that's really important too, and a valuable lesson to understand. So let's see, I'm gonna do, I don't know, let's do Woodland Jam. I've used all of these. So let's see. There's also some like really fun, uplifting, warm, thoughtful, medieval times, which is hilarious, you know, horror movie ones. It's funny to see what like kids choose and how they pair that. And then when I'm ready, I go preview. Oh, wait, the video didn't, oh, there it is. Yeah, it was too short. This is my visual of the Wizard of Oz. I created a 6-word summary and chose the following characters. All right, I didn't add more yet because it's showing all the different ones until I delete them. But yeah, so you can change resize, you can change themes, you can choose some of the pre-created themes as well. And then you can also play with layout, but that's it. It's really nice because it's not too much and kids aren't going in the background and changing every single animation and every single font and to all the different colors. And so you can really teach kids how to create things that look nice, focus on the content and not get caught up in too much. I think sometimes too much is too much and it takes away from what you're trying to say. And you can bend the rules when you are Steven Spielberg, not when you're learning the rules. I'm sorry, I'm being honest. I have a background in communications. That was my first degree. And that was what my teacher said. You know the rules, you can bend the rules. When you don't know the rules, you shouldn't be yet. And so I think that like the kids need to learn how to create within constraints. And these are the guardrails. And then when they get better and they understand how to make things that look nice, then we can start talking about other things that they can do. But when they're learning, it helps them a lot to have some creative constraint. All right, any questions so far? Okay, I hope this is helpful. Okay, Erica said we did ocean PSAs and some of the students forgot to change the music, so it didn't match their mood. Oh my God, that's funny though. But isn't that funny though? And they bet you they were laughing, right? Like, and it's important to change the mood. That I would have loved to see those. So maybe the mood was like really like uplifting and it meant to be kind of solemn. That's really, really funny. Dun, dun, dun. It's a good learning moment, right? All right. Okay, so I'm publishing this right now. These are so ugly, by the way, because I'm not getting into it and I'm talking the whole time. But they look decent. They make no sense because like I'm just pulling some stuff on to show you. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this visual and I'm going to move it now into my page. So I started with my graphic, I made my thinking visible, and now I'm going to go into my page and I'm going to be able to extend my learning and curate and pull those pieces together. And that's what I really love about this suite is like you can really get kids publishing beautiful artifacts and pull those learnings together. So and while that's doing that, I actually wanted to show you a few student samples. And these are actually, here, let me copy that. These are actually my students. These were my kids. I was teaching a high school class called Personal Branding and Digital, Personal Branding, oh my God, what's wrong with me? And Digital Communication, oh my God. Okay, so I was teaching personal branding, digital communication, and what's cool about this class was it was a high school class, mandatory for graduation. So the premise of the class is one day you're going to be Googled, not if, but when, and when you are, how are you leveraging technology and social media to tell your story? So isn't that important, like in today's day and age, like knowing how to leverage the tools? Because often we're like, don't use it, you know, it's bad. Like we've, you know, and that's what we had to do. Like we were like, what the hell was this when it came out? We were like, don't use it. Like, don't put your name, like, don't do this. But now, like, kids need to know how to leverage it in a meaningful and powerful way. And so one of the things that I had kids do is learn how to tell multimedia, like they had to learn how to tell compelling stories like visually. That was like a big component of the class. It's a really important literacy. And so I used Spark a lot. I wasn't working at Adobe at the time, but I was like heavy duty, like getting kids creating, because I wanted them to have these like branded stories and learn how to tell really compelling stories. So these are some actually elementary examples, but I'm gonna just show you a few of these, and this is using Page. And this is kind of a consolidation. And if you came to my first session, I don't know if I showed this one. Did I show it in my first session? I can't remember, the portfolio one, probably. I love this one. Yes, Cynthia says yes.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and I'll show another one in just a second. But I just love this video because I think that this is such a great kind of consolidation. And she's so elegant, this student, in the way that she expresses herself. So this was a freshman, Savannah Kennedy, who I just adore. She's such a great kid. She's now going to be a senior, which is blowing my mind. And so I have the students pulling together these, like, think of it as like a showcase of like a story they wanted to tell. It's not necessarily, it's a portfolio, but it's not. Like, it's really a snapshot of something they really want to share.
People always tell me that I have an old soul,
Oh,
a creative mind, that I was born athletic and academic. But they don't see me practicing, studying, drawing. They don't see my sketchbooks. But I wouldn't be here without my friends, my team, or my family. Because we all start somewhere.
Oh, I love this. Isn't that awesome? That like juxtaposition of her and her growth. I like die inside when I see this. It's just the perfect amount. And she was such a great artist, you know? And so this was such a great kind of like story of her learning, like a snapshot of like, you see this, but I didn't start there. I worked for that. And like, I think that that's such a great, I mean, I look at this and I'm like, this could be an ad, you know, it's like, it's so well done. And she's done such a great job consolidating her own growth. And then this is a page. And so this is just her kind of taking that, you know, that story and adding a little bit more context to it. And this is what a page is. It's like a scrolling snapshot. I want to show you another really great example. So if you are teaching writing, so, and look at these stories, and they're all different, by the way, like the life of an immigrant in the US. This is a really beautiful art portfolio. I do what I want. I love Jessie. She was so awesome. This is a message to your younger. So like they were all, so it's same assignment, by the way, completely different, right? But I'm gonna open up one. Oh, this one was really interesting. I wonder, I hope it's still working. Let's see. This was actually, this student was a senior and he took his college essay and turned it into a visual story to add to his Common App. And then he was so young in this one, but he shared an experience as part of his essay when applying to college. He actually got in. He went to his first choice school. I don't want to take credit, but no, I'm just joking. But it was still cool. Like, it was really neat. Like, he was an awesome student regardless, right? But what a great idea of taking, you know, your work as a student and being able to showcase that visually. I think that's really powerful. So this is one that I love, I'm obsessed with. Okay, so many of us have students writing, if they're younger grades, middle grades, older grades, right? And I want us to think about how we can have students really think about turning their writing into visual stories, because I think that's such a powerful skill for them as publishers, like taking that writing process and then understanding how to pair your writing and bring it to life is so powerful. And also, kids are so much more engaged in their writing when they are able to publish it this way. So this is a great example of kind of rethinking writing. So this is a student of mine, Savannah, another Savannah. My Savannahs were great. So this was Savannah, and it was really cool. It's actually her step grandfather. So it was her grandma's like second husband. Okay. And when he was a child, he lived in Denmark, and his family, they saved like Jewish people during the Holocaust in their basement. Like, what? Like, you hear all these stories, but this is just so powerful, right? And so what she did is she interviewed him and then pulled that story into this visual story. So think about the writing process. We often will have kids creating like 5-paragraph essays, right? So let's think about how we can bring that essay to life. So this is an example of Savannah. So this is her introduction. So childhood. So she's talking about Jørgen Moller. Okay, he's from Denmark. She adds a visual of a map in there. And then she contextualizes his life. I love this because she went in and she found photos and she like scanned the photos, and wow, how cool for this family now to have this like artifact, this family history that now she's pulled together in this visual way to be able to share that story this way is so powerful. So she takes these pictures and she pulls them in, and now she's done some research. Okay, so now she's researching and she's consolidating her research. So this is great for, this is a page, yeah. So she's pulling together research. She's pulling together the firsthand account. It's historical. It's also written, like, it's so cross-curricular too. So then she's actually created this visual in post and pulled it in. So she's like, also, oh my God, these kids went so above and beyond. I cannot even tell you how much they did. I was so impressed by it because they loved it. They were telling something that was important to them, and they were using a tool that made it look beautiful, right? And then look at how she paired the visuals with the color, because you can customize pages. People don't realize that. You can actually change colors and themes. So she's customized it. Now she's done more research. So like we're in 3rd paragraph, right? And then she went in, she found newspaper clippings. She scanned them, she added them in here. And so she's using different formats like glides. She's using these like visual ways to tell her story. And it's so beautiful, right? Isn't this amazing? And this is the best part. At the end, she interviews him and then puts the interview inside the writing. So she's now turned this into this like very multi-dimensional, multimedia piece of work that she's turning in that really gives, first of all, draws you in, so much more engaging. She's basically published something that you could, like a web page that like you would read in a newspaper. Like, it's so beautiful. And this is really such powerful skills for kids. And it's so easy to do, you know? And so this is really like getting kids to publish. This is what we want kids to be able to do, not just write. So she wrote all her writing in a Google Doc, edited it, got feedback, did all that like learning in there, and then pulled it inside of here and published her work with visuals. Is that awesome, guys? Yes, I hope so. I love it. But this is such a great activity, and I mean, there's just so much you could do with that. I have so many good ones. This is a student of mine who shared the story of her parents. They lived in New York on September 11th, 2001. They lived, and the father worked in the Twin Towers. And she tells this story of why I live in Florida. And it's not the reason that you might think. The night before, her parents, the night of September 10th, 2001, her parents got in a fight. She was a baby. And her dad slept in the next morning. How bonkers is that? And they were fighting because the father wanted to move to Florida and the mom didn't want to move, and they got in a fight because the mom was like, I don't want to move to Florida. Needless to say, they moved to Florida, right? But this is the craziest story. So the father slept in and he worked in the Twin Towers on the top, okay? And the kids went to daycare there. Holy Toledo. Yeah. So this actually tells a story, but you know what's so crazy? She comes in, okay? She comes into class with this like dollar store 4x6 album. She pulls out the pictures. All these pictures were taken by her mom during 9/11, and they're all firsthand account history of the mom. Look how crazy this is, that she took on September 11th. The mother took these. And so the daughter had pulled together this piece of history that she's telling the story from the perspective. I literally have shivers still, okay, from this story. And so I mean, how bonkers is this? These have never been seen. I know, it's insane. It's just so insane. And so these were taken by her mom, and then she basically goes through. So my dad got what he wanted. If they hadn't fought about that, where to live that night, my mom and sister would have probably been inside the Twin Towers during night, and I wouldn't have never been born. So she hadn't been born yet, and her sister was. Isn't that wild?
Wow.
Yeah, this is, I mean, and here's the crazy part, and I have to say this. She was she wasn't born yet. Her sister was born. So that's what it says at the bottom. But here's the thing. So many of our kids sitting in our classes have such incredibly powerful stories that are part of their history, part of who they are. And when we give students the opportunity to share those stories, giving them media, giving them tools that do their stories justice, it's amazing what we're able to get out of our kids. It really, truly is. I know, right? The title is good with the story. It really, truly is amazing what happens when kids are given real world tools to showcase their learning and make their thinking visible and tell their stories. And so I think this is one of the most like powerful things we can have kids do. And this is the last one I'll show. So this is a student of mine. I love Christian. Christian is just such a great kid. I still am in touch with him today, and his dad. I love his dad. So Christian was in my class. He was a freshman at the time. He's going to be a senior this year. And he was like varsity captain of the soccer team. He's just like the best kid ever. And oh, Erica, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make you cry. I love you guys. I wish we were there together. So
but that's what happens when kids share their voice.
Right? It's not me. This is them.
It's their voice. Mm-hmm.
I have to tell you guys, that class was heart-wrenching to teach. You know, I taught in Parkland. So the school that I taught was I was at an independent school. So the local public school is MSD, which is where the school shooting happened on February 14th. So you might have heard about it in Florida, like it was made international news. And my students, a lot of them came from there. They were at the school during I had students who had friends die in their laps. I mean, the most, my students were suffered from PTSD. Anytime the lights I still do, to be honest. That's a big part of my teaching life is I have massive anxiety as a teacher in schools because we all lived so close that it was so real to us, but also so many of my students came to me. And so there was a lot of trauma that was connected to that. So there are stories. I have stories that I'm not even showing. I cry because it's too emotional for me. But those stories are so powerful for kids because all of our kids have something incredibly powerful to say. But I want to shift gears because I will cry and I don't want to cry. So this is Christian. Christian is one of my favorite stories. I just want to show this really quick because I think this kind of ties things together so nicely. So in my class, I had kids. Again, I worked at a private school, so I could really get away with a lot more, I think, than in public schools. I had all my kids create Twitter accounts, so that was. So I recognize that, but that was part of the course, and that was what parents like signed up for. So that was part of it. But it's so cool. He's going to be a senior. Look how cool this is. So I have the kids really documenting their learning so that when they're Googled, because what happens is if you have Twitter, if you Google Christian Doler, like for real, legit, like, let me just show you. So now when I Google Christian Doler, he's really provided. So he's a sport, so you see his soccer recruiting, and then second is his Twitter. So he's really in control of what you find when you Google him. And that's what I'm teaching the kids, that like, how do you leverage technology and social media to tell the stories? It's really through understanding how to leverage social media, which allows you to build those connections and those, positive links. And so he's done that. And when you Google him, you find all the things he wants to share. And he really gets the importance of like how to market yourself and play the game, because he will tweet out to colleges. He uses hashtags. He mentions scouts. And what he's done here is he's connected his Spark page, which is what I was just showing you, to his profile. So how cool is that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's really learning the power of social media, of telling stories. I mean, I love him because he really listens to me and he did it. It's like, this is what I was saying, people. And the crazy thing is I didn't apply to Google. I didn't apply to Adobe. I actually got recruited. I didn't apply for this job at all. And so when it happened, I said no, because I loved teaching this. Like, I was like, I am living the dream. Tell me that's not the best class like ever to teach, right? I was like, I don't want to leave. But when it happened, my students, they were like, the ones that weren't listening were now listening, because they were like, because I was explaining to them, like, you have to have it. And, part of that was like, I had a social presence. I understood how to network. That's part of how you are able to kind of leverage this space when you want to get into different places. These are skills kids need to learn. It's the world now. And so the kids were like, oh my God, I'm listening to Miss Aberrant because like this really works. But that's the thing, like Christian is like telling his story. He's sharing about himself as an athlete. So when he is tweeting out to scouts and they want to learn more about him, he has this connection here and it's talking about his goals. It's so impressive because not many kids are doing stuff like that. So I know this is the older kids, but it starts at a young age, getting kids to create visuals, getting them to understand how to tell their stories. So I know we only have a few minutes left. We have two options, okay, guys? And here is what I wanted to show you. And I want, are we allowed to do choose your own adventure kind of thing? Is that like,
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I wanted to show. So it's, got Spark, now what? Okay, so this is a lesson plan that I designed. It was based on that assignment that you just saw. That assignment was a unit, and I will send you the whole unit. PS, it was a 2-week unit. Okay, and I'm going to send you everything. I have it. It's a self-paced course. I designed everything with videos. It's like really well designed. Okay, so you could even like give it to the kids, and they would be able to scaffold the whole experience. But this is what I designed for teachers. And it's a lesson called Got Spark, Now What? Let me show you what it is. It's a hyperdoc, okay? And basically and you'll walk through it. It's the first 3 lessons you can give kids when they walk into the door, but you could do it too. And I'm gonna show you what it looks like from your perspective, okay? So what it asks you to do, so first of all, for students, it starts off, and obviously you're going to do it on a slower, like you'll look through it. This is like a really great example, but it's evergreen. So you can have kids coming in, they create their logo, they create an About Me video, and then they create a page, which basically becomes their journal of learning, where they can pull in artifacts throughout the year to demonstrate their growth. So it's meant to be like a little portfolio, but it's also scaffolded to teach kids some very essential digital literacy skills. Like, and there's exemplars, there's like videos, it's like super self-explanatory, and it goes through everything you need. So I love this lesson as like a starting point in the school year to get kids to learn about themselves, for you to learn about them, and for them to be able to have a space to consolidate their learning. So this is one option that I thought would be cool to have. And what it could look like for you, let's say we were gonna like what you might want to do. And I don't know, guys, please correct me. Like I feel I don't want to overstep. Is this something that like you had in mind? If not, then like we can scratch that, because they can always use this later on. So you just tell me. Yes, I need that. Well, what about the panelists? I'm curious, what do you guys think?
Okay, so Kaylee, what was the, again, that they were doing? We had them create
So we were going to
the,
use our lesson design template,
and
and
they-
for the online section for that station, they would create a lesson in which students would create something in Adobe Spark.
Okay, so so maybe we do that,
kind
because
of
this
the
is more tool focused, but I'm going to give you this. Okay, because this is a great activity for kids to do, or for you to do if you're interested in like pulling something like this together, because this is similar to that, but for the teacher. Okay, so I'm going to leave that with you guys. Okay,
yeah.
But I'll leave this example, but this is actually something I do at the beginning of the school year for my students and for parents. So when they come to parent teacher, like get to know you, like, they come to your class of 10 minutes and you're like, "Wah," and you're saying the same thing over and over again. I don't know if you guys do that, but that was kind of like how it worked at my school. So I have this, and then I send it to the parents, so that it's like, who am I? So I make like a little who am I video about me as their teacher this year.
Hi everyone, my name is Tiny Abbott.
So they can get to learn about me. And then I share with them like about my class, and then I leave them with my course. And then if they have any questions, they can reach out to me. I leave them with my class website and the main objectives of my class. So that's like another activity. Doesn't mean you have to do like this, not what they want you to do now, but something that I'm going to leave you with that you could, as an example, maybe use at the beginning of the school year to kind of get going with your students.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry I spoke so much.
No, you're good.
So where do we leave them off with? Because I want to make sure we have the right instructions, where to go, what to do next.
Okay, so Kaylee, do you want me to share, or?
yeah, you know.
I already have it. Wait a minute, let me find it. Here it is. All right, so let me share my screen.
Oh yeah, here, I'll stop sharing.
Okay. Pull this over. Hold on. All right, where's my Zoom now? Ah, it popped down on me. There it is. Okay. So share the screen. Okay, so there's several things we need to do. Hold on, I'm gonna share this. Can y'all see this one? Are you seeing the Adobe?
Yes.
Oh, how cute!
I know. We did all this in Spark.
Oh, I
We
love it.
created our little branding and all our little stuff in Spark. Yeah. So we do. It's not published yet, or did I? Wait a minute. Let me hit update because
No, it's not published yet.
Oh, it has not published yet. Okay.
Well, we thought we may have to change the assignment, so I left it unpublished.
Okay. Yeah. So I actually like that idea of them creating a page with like a visual or something for back to school. Introducing themselves to their students.
Yeah.
And I can leave that example with you guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you will, yes. Put that in the chat, or
I'm
we
on
can
it.
get to it and we can put it in there. So yeah, we'll fix that and we'll get the instructions, open in about 15 more minutes or right after this ends. But this is where they'll go. So they're in a Schoology course, and then they'll come in here. And then when they open this, once it's published, they'll click on this flip-flop student engage assignment, and then they'll submit their Adobe Spark through here, whatever they end up creating.
I
Could we
love it.
pick which one we want to do? I think so.
Yeah, I'll leave both of them in here
Yeah,
and you can decide.
yeah. Okay. I like the possible assignment of creating a Spark product about ourselves that we could use. Yeah. So you could tweak it and make it fit you. That's the beauty of Spark, I think, that you can make it fit you and your students.
Well,
as
then
well.
this way they can also model something that they have the kids doing. So maybe that becomes the lesson plan. It's
Mhm.
they're creating their introduction, like their piece, and then having the kids also design something that's connected to their maybe a check for understanding of
Mhm.
like where they are coming into the beginning of the school year about the subject with a twist on things about themselves. So like that would be kind of interesting as well. And then I love the idea. I'm a sucker for portfolios. As you guys know, it's a big part of like how I've always taught. So then having them consolidate like a video inside of a page. And I didn't show a page, but guys, I promise you, it's scroll add. It's actually very straightforward.
Yeah, because they'll just click here, correct?
Yes, they go there and they go to web
Web
page.
And then and like she was showing, even on those templates and stuff, it pretty is, the kids can literally step by step add the things in.
Exactly. It's a scroll and then add. It's similar to video, except it's just like you scroll and it goes plus and you add the pieces you want. It's it's really straightforward, I promise you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the last thing so I guess, are we clear on what they're going to do? If you want us to submit a lesson, please share. Yes,
Yes.
it's in here. If it's a lesson plan, let me just go into this folder.
Yeah.
So when you click this open, now I am looking at it from the teacher view, but up here, this is what we were going to have you do. We have this little flip-flop lesson plan, and you are just going to concentrate to and make sure that your online station was using Adobe Spark.
And I
Okay.
put the other one in if you want to go back.
Oh, you're muted, Kaylee.
I put the other one in if you want to go back.
Are we going to publish it?
I'm going to wait
We will in a
until,
minute.
yeah.
So in here, so now we've got the two.
Get to know the
She's
teacher.
now added that so you can do either one of these. You do not have to do both.
Right.
You're going to pick one or the other to turn in. So if you want to do the lesson plan here, and when you open that, I was in the teacher view, you're going to click the tab that says My Document. And then we also have this one in here as well, that you can add that page on there. We're going to publish it in just a second. We have not set it. As soon as we finish, we'll turn that publishing on.
Yeah, I have to add the rubric to the Get to Know the Teacher and instructions on actually how to submit that in Schoology.
Yes.
So.
And then the other thing has everyone filled out the prizes for the prize drawing that we're going to do? I have 13 people in here, and we have about 4. So it tells me one person has not filled out the form. And because we're getting ready to draw for prizes. I'm going to bring this over.
I'll put the link back in.
I think it looks like it might be Marker Case. I might be wrong, but I don't see his name.
And then Karen, do you want me to go over prizes?
Yes. So Kaylee is going to hold up and talk about the prizes.
Okay. So our prizes today, we have some iExcel stickers that you can give out to students or put on your computer. We have a webcam cover. We have a stylus pen, a dry erase marker, and we have some Lexia bands that you can give out as prizes to students.
Okay. Oh, you were late connect. Okay, I added your name marker. So you're now on this. So I think that was the only one, if I'm not mistaken, because look. So we're gonna go ahead and spin. So wait a minute. How many? Okay, so we have 14. Hold on. Let me just think about this. So do you want to just add 4 more?
I think we should.
Yeah, we can add 4
I
more.
think we should. So here's the deal. We're just going to give everyone on this list a prize back. Because I hate to just spin it and 4 people get left out. Okay? Because it's Thursday, it's the end of the week. People, for everyone showing up today, and we're just gonna give you all a little. So what we're gonna do is we'll put this in the inner office mail, and then it will get to your campus. And the only thing is, you can go get it before school, or you can wait till you go back in. It'll be in your mailbox. How's that? Then everyone's a winner. Oh, I know. Don't we love her energy? She's a great presenter. All right. So any questions before we, I'm gonna, where's my Zoom?
And I just published the rest of the folders in the course, so you now have access to them. And give me a few minutes to add into the get to know the teacher assignment how you can submit a link in Schoology.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Tanya, for coming this week and presenting for us. It's awesome. And she will, like I said, she'll email me all these things that we talked about. I'm going to tell y'all what, we don't work tomorrow. So, because this is a 10, we do 10-hour days and get Fridays off during the summer. So that being said, we had set it so that it was due tonight at midnight, but we are not going to look at this Schoology course until Monday morning. So you technically have all weekend to do this. Okay, so we will start grading on Monday. So if it's not in there by Monday morning, then yeah. So you'll get credit for coming to the webinar as an hour and a half, and then you get an hour and a half of additional credit for submitting the project. So you'll get up to 3 hours. That's how you roll too. Yeah.
And I'm helping you cheat a little bit because I've given you some ideas that I posted in the chat. If you look at the
Go
Padlet,
scroll in that chat. We won't close this out yet.
here, I'll post it one more time for you guys. So this was the curated Padlet that has, but the nice thing is you can pull ideas, and I think that's what's really important is, being able to use resources and modify and remix and make them your own. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And I also want you to see what's available. This is a curated list that we made in our last session of lesson ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go ahead and look in there and modify it and like pull it into like the objectives of your class. And that's really, really like a great way of also planning is being able to use the resources that you have, I think.
All right. You went ahead and bookmarked it. Great. Okay. All right. So any other questions? Well, we want to thank everyone for coming and attending, and y'all have a great weekend and enjoy your summer. If we don't see you in any more of our PDs, we do have some webinars next week again, right?
Yes.
Losing count of all the webinars we're doing.
And if you are interested in learning more about Adobe Spark, we do have our Spark Your Students Creativity course that's running in June and in July that goes over posts, videos, and pages. It goes over the branding that Tanya talked about. I'm trying to think of what else.
Oh, I have something else for you guys. We are putting together a summit this summer, and
Yes.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yes. So here, let me share the link with you guys. The link is, I think it's bit.adobe.ly/.
It's like their conference, their Adobe Summit. It's
Yeah, Adobe Summit GA. There, I
and
think
it's
free.
free.
Yeah, it's totally free. And we partner with the HyperDocs girls.
Oh,
Or-
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so they're running a lot of the programming. I love them. They're some of my best friends. So we partnered with their team, and so they're running a lot of the programming. So you can be rest assured that nope, that's not the link for it. I'm going to send you the link right now. Hold on, don't. That's not the right link because I
And if
clicked.
yeah. And anything you email me, I will add it to a page in that Schoology course. All the links that she sends us, we will add to the Schoology course that y'all are currently in.
Here we go. I got it for you guys right here. So here, oh, it's Edu Summit. I messed up. Okay, here we go. So this is the link. And yes, we partnered with the HyperDocs crew. And so, like I said, you can be rest assured that it is a very high quality event.
Mhm.
And it's going to have amazing speakers. We're going to be announcing next week all of our keynotes, and it's completely free. So I definitely hope that you join. Oh my God, it's not working. This it's driving me bonkers. All right, I will look for it. I will email it out to you guys. I don't know what's going on, but the link I have is just not working. So thank you guys. Oh, it's July 28th and 29th.
Okay, I was thinking the 27th, so somewhere around there, yeah.
Yes, or
28th,
27th and 28th.
I don't know. It's somewhere in the end of July. Can't
Yes.
remember. Okay.
Have a great
All right.
week. Have a great
And-
summer, everybody. You
Yes.
deserve it.
Bye.
All right. Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Email us if you have any questions, guys. All right. See y'all later.